as he's racing Snake Oiler, we see his family, and it is Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy, 10 out of 10 Smoke Show Susan Sarandon, 10 out of 10 Smoke Show Christina Ricci, like another small boy,
annoying child,
and a chimp.
That's not their entire family, I'll have you know, because they have an
No,
additional family member, which is the live-in queer platonic Australian man who is just present.
This is Sparky. This is the dad's sort of like live-in 24/7 mechanic bottom.
I don't really like, he's just an Australian guy.
Speed's dad. He's just an Australian man who works for him.
He's in the family. He's in every white shot.
The best way I can explain Sparky is if you've seen Glass Onion. It's very close to that's Daryl. He's not part of the experience.
It's so fucking funny because Sparky is present for the entire movie, but at no point is his like relationship really explained. And there are multiple shots when like
do anything
during like a really dramatic scene or something, there'll be a reaction cut of Sparky, and I lose my shit every single fucking time.
You could literally edit him out of this film, and the story would be exactly the same.
It's just like Sparky's here too, and you're like, whoa.
Also featuring Sparky. But anyway, so when
his name is Royalton, and he is sort of like this oleaginous, somewhat sinister businessman, right? And he has come to make them an offer. But first, he has a sort of weird thing. He goes,
"Is that pancakes I smell?"
Because there are pancakes, and we get
odd scene. You could have cut this in like
uncomfortably high definition pancake close up. I'd really like to make the episode art the like close in shot on Roger Allam's face having eaten a pancake.
I really enjoy this performance and this character, and I think the way that Royalton is deployed in the film, I think like makes it a lot cleverer than it might appear, but we'll get into that. So like, I want to sponsor Speed, but let me show you what I can give you.
There is one interesting thing here that I wanted to draw out, which is he tries to sell him how like impressed he is with his driving, which he does with this line.
"Young man, you gave me goosebumps."
To which we then cut to Sparky, who goes, "Ugh," and like pulls a face. And I'm like, that's curious. That's a little bit homophobic.
The way that Royalton like wears that purple a lot and is a bit like is kind of slightly.
I mean, it comes with a territory of a live-in Australian. Like sometimes they're just like this. It's a shame, but you know.
Yeah, you do your best to like train your Australian, but
it's really hard to housebreak an Australian.
By the way, at this point, no one else is talking Australian, which is sort of like we just everyone else. We see Trixie again at some point. No one has an Australian accent, but they did as children, and I'm like, does this mean that in the Speed Racer universe, everyone starts as Australian? That stops at puberty.
Yeah.
And like everyone we perceive as Australian
at birth.
But everyone who is like still Australian is like an age play fetishist. Like Sparky is on some fucking shit.
I would actually say it's that everyone starts out as Australian. It's sort of like the larval stage of human. Whereas Sparky is just exhibiting neoteny, like a axolotl does.
When Trixie runs into the scene, Trixie and Susan Sarandon run into the scene from the same room. Susan Sarandon, who calls her husband Pops, is sleeping in the same room as Trixie and not the same room as her husband, although they have separate rooms. I'm just curious.
I just want to know where Sparky's sleeping. That's what I want to know.
Yeah. He moves around.
Yeah.